The Colosseum was a place where the best of the best threw down to see who would be the last standing. Some contestants came from nothing, just to rise to the top. What if I started with the bare minimum in Elestrals, just enough packs to make a legal deck? I would clash with other casters with the eventual goal of winning a tournament. Every win would reward a single randomized pack to upgrade my deck, with other rewards along the way. Will I be the last caster standing? It's time to enter the Colosseum.
Alright, here we are with game 1 of episode 4 of Elestrals Colosseum. I believe this is the 9th game in total. I actually won the dice roll here and I opted to go second. So the opponent goes ahead, he plays the Apollo, foretells some right here, and he is going to add the Lustragon to hand. He also hit a Temple of the Sun and an Altar of Stars there. He's going to put those back on the top in any way that he wants. He's going to cast out the Nebuleo. And Nebuleo is a pretty cool card. It gets buffed for every enchanting solar spirit on the field, and that also allows you to foretell 3 or 4, and you get to add any of its Ascension line to hand. So he goes ahead and looks at his deck right there. It doesn't hit any of his Ascension line, which is the Nebuleo, the Leo Bright, and the Celestleo. Its stat line currently is a 2-1, but because there's 3 spirits on the board, it goes up to a 5-1, so it gets pretty big pretty quick. So he's going to put those cards back on the top of his deck in any order. Looks like setting 2 cards and passing over to me. So I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn here, trying to figure out what I can do. I know he added the Lustragon to hand, so I need to try to figure out a way to not let him start nexusing things here. However, I know I'm playing into 2 unknown back row, so I'm going to start with a... I think I was going back and forth right here. I had the necklace in hand, so I was trying to figure out if I should go aggressive early, but if I would have swung into like a shield or something, it really would have been pretty bad. So I have to go with a Narpoon, just play a little bit of defense here. We'll trigger the Narpoon effect. I was really hoping I could get something out of him on the Narpoon effect, but unfortunately we do not get anything chained. We do add the Ursicle to hand. Already kind of in a weird spot here in this game. We don't want to let him establish the board if possible, but with the hand we were given, not a whole lot we can do. So I just go ahead and pass it back over. I believe at this point he's got 3 cards in hand. We know one of them is the Lustragon from the foretell in the last turn. And also from the foretell in the last turn, we know that there is an Exaltus on the top of his deck somewhere, so not too sure if he drew that or if it'll come up here, but he goes ahead and fires the Nebuleo effect to foretell. So there we see the Exaltus, the Altar, the Plucky, and the Shield. So he will not add any to his hand from the Nebuleo effect, but he gets to put them in any order that he wants. And then if he chooses to, he can actually just go ahead and activate the Apollo, foretelling more cards and adding a Solar Elestral to his hand. So we know he's going to be able to get the Exaltus this turn, which is pretty bad for us. Exaltus mixed with Lustragon is a pretty crazy combo, because you get to search out, when you Nexus to the Exaltus, you get to search out an Ethereal Elestral, and there's a lot of really good Ethereal Elestrals, and then the Lustragon on Nexus gets to destroy a card. So if he gets that combo set up, we are in a rough spot. He does go ahead and fire the Apollo effect and adds the Exaltus to hand. So we know he has Exaltus and Lustragon here. At this point, we have to assume he's probably going to go with the cast of the Exaltus here. He probably doesn't want to go with the Lustragon just yet, because he can just swing over the Narpoon. He doesn't have anything else to destroy, so As we think he is going to cast out the Exaltus here. Exaltus is a 3/2, it can Nexus 2 Solar, and when it does successfully, it gets to search an Ethereal Elestral. And like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of really good Ethereals. There's both of the Rabbits are Ethereals, Galaxy's Ethereal, Cyprmel's Ethereal. There's quite a few solid ones. And I want to say he just grabs a Plucky here. I believe that card's half off the screen, but I'm pretty sure that's a Plucky. So he can grab another Apollo, have another Nexus Bank for the following turns here. So he does go in, attacks with the, I believe he attacks with the Nebuleo first. Your Nebuleo is still buffed from the spirits on board, so it's still around a 5 attack. So the Nebuleo can easily clear our Harpoon. He can get in for a couple damage with the Exaltus, so that's exactly what he does. We'll pay the 2, we send a Teratlus, and I believe Illuminate right here, yep. Expend those 2. And we go here. So at this point I know he has the Plucky to search out the Divine, which is most likely going to be his next play. Lustragon's still in hand for the Ascension, however he doesn't really have anything that he wants to pop on our board, so most likely next turn he'll be going with the Plucky, the following turn into an Ascension of the Lustragon to just gain more control. So here I go ahead and cast out a Galaxy. I'm thinking that I need to stop his board before it gets too crazy, so try to get the Galaxy out. We'll try to take out the Exaltus. Exaltus also has 2 spirits enchanting it, so it'd be nice to get rid of it. We just go ahead and swing, and not ideal to swing into the 2 back row here, but at this point I feel like we kind of have to, and we are met with a Battle Step Gorgon's Gaze. So the attack already goes through. The Gaze negates the Galaxy effect, swapping it back to a 2/5, and the Galaxy destroys itself because the battle was already happening. So he pays out the 2 for the Gaze right there. And here we're in a very bad spot. We have to pass it back with an open board. We know he's going to have the Plucky to cast out Search the Apollo. He can do just about whatever he wants at this point. He asked for a spirit count here. I was still very healthy. I think I was at like 16 at this point. Hopefully we can get some spirit counters added, either if not in this video, hopefully the next one. So you guys might be seeing that already. And yep, he goes out with the cast of the Plucky. Made sense. Gets the Apollo, gets the Nexus Bank, gets to continue to do some foretelling here, which at this point he doesn't really need anything other than maybe some runes to stop my board, but we already know he has the Lustragon in hand. He'll be able to take control of this clash pretty easily. I know I said last week that the Jack King was a pretty bad matchup, and I really feel the same way about this Solar Nexus deck. This is the second or third time we played it in the series at this point, and it just feels like if you can't stop it, it just snowballs and goes crazy, and as soon as they establish the Exaltus and Lustragon, it's just downhill from there. So he goes ahead and casts out the Apollo that he searched with the Plucky, enchants the full 4 spirits to it. It's an expensive Apollo. He goes with the Exaltus effect. He will Nexus 2 up to the Nebuleo, and the Exaltus will allow him to search because the Nexus went through. Also worth noting here, the Nebuleo is like massive. It gets +1 for every enchanting spirit, and there's, I want to say, 7 on the board right now, so that Nebuleo is a 9 cost, or a 9 attack Nebuleo. You can see on my side, I am just going ahead and figuring out what spirits I will be expending when he gets to the battle step. Looks like at this point I'm going to be taking about 6 spirits, so I go ahead and do that just to save a little bit of time. Again, not too sure what he added at this point. It's half off the screen. You can kind of see the little ethereal logo there, so we know it was a good search. Just not too sure what it was exactly, or if it even matters at this point. He's going to be swinging for a lot of damage very quickly. He foretells again here, hits the altar, the calf mel, and the heliolith. He adds the calf mel to hand off of the Apollo. He goes ahead and sets another back row, and at this point he finally gets to the battle phase, and we'll swing for the 6 here. So I throw away the 6 spirits here. I think that takes us down to about 10 spirits. Draw for turn. At this point I still have the necklace in hand, so I'm trying to figure out what I can cast out here to get over at least something. The Nebula would be the best option probably, just because it's got 3 spirits on it. Getting rid of those would be pretty big. However, yeah, doing some counting here to figure out the Nebula attack, it came out to a 9, and I think the biggest attacker I had in hand was a 3, and that was the Panzer. So even with the necklace equipped here, not going to be able to get over the Nebulio. I go with the misenchant of the Panzer here, just in case there's a tsunami back there. Go ahead and throw out the necklace a bit too soon. And he doesn't have a response to the Panzer cast, so we do go ahead and play out the necklace here, buffing the Panzer up to an 8. At this point, the worst thing for us is probably a gaze here, because the gaze will keep the necklace on the board, forcing us to expend in the end phase. A shield at least would put the necklace, or take the necklace to the underworld, and we wouldn't have to expend in the end phase. But we do attempt to at least go in here and try to get over the Exaltus, and worst case scenario, he does have the gaze, so he'll be able to stop the attack. We still will have to expend for the necklace effect at the end of the turn, and he will easily be able to get over the Panzer next turn. He also sells the Lestragon in hand, so at this point this is looking like it is most likely going to be our last turn. And so in phase here, I will resolve the necklace, pay 2 Vipyros. I believe that takes me down to about 5 spirits left. He's already got 6 on board. We know he has the Lestragon Ascension in hand, so he can just cast over the Plucky or the Exaltus Nexus onto it, pop the Panzer, and swing for the damage. So gonna move to 0-9 on the series, 0-1 in the episode. One more loss, we get a pity pack. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but we'll see in the next clash. Alright guys, here we are with game 2 of the episode. So starting out 0-9 here in total, so we'll get a pack at the end of this game either way. But opponent opts to go first here, playing Lego My Ego from the Discord. He casts a Foamy in defense, that's 2 back row, and passes over to me. So Foamy, when it is destroyed in battle, floats into another 1-cost water. So pretty solid defensive card off the start. I go here and cast the Cora Brawl. And since I have a lot of obscure cards that don't see a whole lot of play, I spend a lot of time reading cards to Lego My Ego here just so he knows what's going on. So cast out the Cora Brawl here. He has to reveal the 2 back row cards. Any non-counter runes get destroyed off of the Cora Brawl effect. And so he reveals a shield and a Gorgon's Gaze here. So doesn't destroy anything, but good knowledge for us to have here. And at this point I don't have anything else to do, so I pass it back over to him. So it looks like he's taking a minute to think about his plays here. This Foamy is kind of a problem for us. The only real removal we have at this point is Battle, and there's a lot of good 1-cost Celestials that can come down that can kind of just stop us completely. like Galaxies is the big one that comes to mind. He goes with a cast of the Elechick here, Elechick allowing him to search for a Divine Rune to add to his hand. And at this point, we're not too sure what he can grab. You would assume Zeus and Demeter are the two big options. He actually grabs a Poseidon here, so he's on some kind of water, maybe water nexus strategy here. Also apologize for the delay between episodes. I've been very busy this holiday season, so hope everyone had a good holiday season as well. Let's see, he goes with the Elechick, swings over the Core Brawl here, and then swings for 1 with the Foamy. So we'll go ahead and expend the Illuminate right there for the attack, and it is our turn. Kind of showing my hand again here, we drew the Caprigal for turn here. Caprigal's a great card, I just haven't had the chance to get it out just yet, so maybe one day. I have to go with a cast of the Narpoon here, Narpoon allowing us to search for a 1-cost Frost Elestral. I know he has the Gaze, the Gaze set with the shield here, so I figured getting the Narpoon out, that kind of the 4 attack matching his Elechick's attack would be the best option. It obviously worked out here. We got through the Gorgon's Gaze, and we get to keep our Narpoon on the board for now, assuming he doesn't have anything to get over it. So we don't have anything else to do, we pass it back to him. He goes ahead and casts out the Poseidon, so I believe he enchants the 1 initial and then does an additional 3 spirits, so 4 spirits total on the Poseidon here. So we're expecting some kind of Nexus play from this point. He does activate the Poseidon, Nexusing 1 to the Foamy. And then after the Poseidon resolves, he will ascend the Foamy. And he throws out Illuminate here, so looks like we are going to see the Chronodile, yup. So he gets the big bad Chronodile out. Chronodile is a great card. It's an 8/14. It can disenchant a water to destroy a card on the field. And I believe if there's a total of 6 water and solar enchanting spirits on your field, it cannot be targeted with card effects either. So it is a pretty crazy card. He goes in and swings over the Narpoon with the Chronodile, forcing me to expend 2 for that attack, and then expending a 3rd for the Elechick attack. So we go ahead and send a Luminate Saptor and Terratlas here for the battle. Go ahead and draw here. Because I'm showing my hand again, you can see I got a Cholotl for turn right there. I never realized how bad I am at showing my hand until I watch these videos back and realize how I need to stop doing that. Go ahead and cast out the Mudlet here. At least try to get over the Elechick. I don't have an answer for that Chronodile, but we can attempt to get over the Elechick. And he opts to go for the shield here. So Mudlet goes back to the hand. He gets to save his Elechick. He siphons 1 off of the Poseidon to pay for the shield, and then expends a Leviathan to match the cost. And so we'll pass it back to him with an empty board. Not in a great spot here. He will start by switching the Elechick back to attack position. He gets to swing for a lot of damage at this point. Minimum of 4 with the current board. He's going to cast out an Aphoros right here, so he'll be able to get a huge Nexus plays, get some draws, more damage, just basically anything he wants at this point. So he'll go ahead and Aphoros effect, Nexusing 2 water spirits from the Poseidon onto the Chronodile. Poseidon being misenchanted goes to the Underworld. He'll draw 2 for the Aphoros effect resolving. And as it stands, we'll be taking 7 spirits of damage at this point, so I'm just going ahead through the spirit deck right here and figuring out what I want to get rid of. And it's like I grabbed 1. I was 1 short, so I'm going back in here looking for a 6 spirit, throw another Zaptor right there. Get rid of basically everything at this point. We're down to like 5 or 6 spirits left. Pretty low at this point. We draw the Drops of Leaf for turn. At this point, I don't think there's anything in our deck that can really get through the Chronodile. Maybe the combination of Necklace plus an Elestral, obviously is the backer that we don't know what it is. So even that's wishful thinking, but might as well go for it. We go with the Drops of Leaf. Drops of Leaf lets you shuffle back as many cards as you want from your hand into your deck, and then you draw that many +1. So we pay a Lycoris and an Aloon for it, send back the Chilotl, the Caprigal, the, what's that, Morfrost, Boltuga, and Scavacol. So shuffle back 5, we get a draw 6 here. Like I said, looking for the combination of Necklace plus something to get over the Chronodile. If we don't see that, looks like we're going to take another loss here. We draw our 6 cards. And because I'm leaking the hand right there, you can kind of see we did not get the necklace there. We did get the golden apples at this point. Too little too late, not going to do a whole lot. I do go ahead and cast out the Mudlet in an attempt to get rid of just something off the board here. The Mudlet targets the Elechick, swaps its battle position, and then I just go to battle and attempt to swing over that Elechick, trying to get rid of it. Just to do something. He does have the Tsunami here, so switches the Mudlet to defense, and we do not have anything else to do, so we pass it back over. He does go ahead and use the Chronodile effect, Disenchants of Water, to pop the Mudlet, and at this point we only have 3 spirits left, so we go ahead and take the loss here, dropping us to 0-10, but we do get to go to the Pity Wheel. Alright guys, we are here at the wheel, officially 0-10, so we get another pity pack here, so we'll go ahead and spin the wheel, see what we get. And it looks like we actually got a solid one here. We are going to land on the Earth pack, so we'll go ahead and open that pack, update the deck. Just a quick little reminder, we decided that we get to add the whole entire pack of Earths to the deck, so I'll go ahead and open that pack, see what our holo is, and we'll upgrade the deck and go from there. Alright guys, here we are, officially 0-10. We spun the wheel, we rolled Earth, so I've got a couple Earth packs here, so I'm going to go ahead and pop one open. We'll go with this one right here. I know there's an Earthquake in this pack, which would be a really nice hit. Don't really remember what else there is. Sprout here, actually pretty solid. Searches an artifact, so we could search the necklace with this. Moss Station, great card here. Giraflora. Let's see, normal cast, return 1 spirit Earth Celestial from your underworld to your hand. Also not bad, like we could get the Moss Station or something back. Jotaya, second one, banned. Third Rummagem, pretty solid, and we got the Earthquake, so great hit there. Obviously limited card. Going to be a great addition to the deck, so I'll go ahead and get this deck updated. I'm going to go ahead and add in the Earthquake. The Rummagem's going to go in. We'll honestly probably go ahead and throw in all of these. We got the Jotaya, obviously. I'm not too sure exactly what we're going to get rid of. I'll make a decision and fill you guys in here in just a sec. Alright, just to show off the upgrades that we want to add to the deck from the Earth Shattered Stars pack, we're going to add the Giraflora, the Moss Station, the Sprout here, the Rummagem, and the Earthquake. So throwing those 5 in the deck. 5 that we're taking out are the Morfrost Lichen form. Might get good later, but as of right now we only have 1 Indus form, which we decided to keep in because of its removal effect. But the Lichen form right now just isn't too great. Smoky, we have no way of special casting it, so it's just a 3-2. We only have 2 Fire Spirits anyways, so not too great. Scavacool's an okay card. It gets you, 2 searches. However, same thing, we only have 2 Fire Spirits, so can't really make good use of it. Boltuga might come in handy later, but no Eruption to search off of it, so not too great right now. And then Barabib, very small. It's got an okay effect when you cast an Invoke Rune with In Earth, you can force your opponent to expend 1, so it's okay, but that's not going to help us too much. So we're going to cut those 5. We also did add the Terratlas, and we took out 1 Luminape that was a random wheel spin. So those are the upgrades to the deck, and we are going to go for another game. Alright, we are back for Game 3 of Episode 4. 0-10 at this point, but we did just get the big pity pack there. We got the Earth pack, added some great cards. We got lucky enough to pull the Hollow Earthquake, so great card to pull, honestly one of the best. Only thing I would rather have is probably some kind of counter rune, but can't complain with the Earthquake. So we go second in Game 3 here. He's already started his turn. You see he casted out the Ash Rabbit in defense, grabbed a card off of it, sets 3 back row, and passes it over. So draw for turn here. Staring down an Ash Rabbit in 3 back row is a tough task to ask our Elestrals Colosseum deck. We'll see what we can do though. We'll start out here with a cast of Sproutier, fresh from the pity pack. Sproutier is a 3/5, and it lets us search for an artifact and add it from our deck to our hand. So only artifact that we have is the necklace. However, it's already a great card just because of its stats being a 3/5, but also giving us the necklace search when the necklace is the only thing that can get us over a lot of Elestrals. It's just a great card to add. So we did have the option to cast an attack there and then go ahead and just instantly equip the necklace to try to get over the rabbit, but him having 3 back rows made me not want to do that. I do have the 1 back row there, which we know the only back row in our deck is the Chains of Prometheus, so we have that potentially to counter one of his runes. We pass play back over to our opponent. After some deliberation, he opts to go for, it's like another Zaptor. It is a re-enchant on the rabbit. Try to dig a little bit deeper into the deck, get another card. We obviously don't have a response to that. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty decent this one. Another reason we didn't really want to go with the necklace play super early is because the necklace will, as long as it stays on the board, it's just going to eat through our spirit deck, and we're not going to be able to do enough damage to keep up with that. So while necklace is a good card to get over problematic stuff, I don't feel like rabbit is something that's problematic enough to force us to try to run that play this early in the clash. So he adds a card off of the rabbit. He's already going to have a massive card advantage just off of the 2 rabbit effect resolutions. He swaps the rabbit to attack. He does have his one of Earthquake, so he will Earthquake our Sproutier here. I don't know why I feel like I have to emphasize the tier in Sproutier. Is it just Sproutier, Sprouter? Stupid little thoughts that run through my head. He goes ahead and swings the rabbit for 2 after the Earthquake, so we're gonna expend the Illuminate and the Zaptor here. He's gonna pass play over to us. And I have to just go with it, cast up the Bubloon in defense. Play a little bit of defense here. Bubloon buffs Water Enchanted Elestrals by +2 attack and +2 defense. That is the whole board. So my side and his side. Which we know he's on the Chronodial list, so Bubloon's not the greatest. We know it can help him out as well, but felt like it was the best option in this given scenario. So we pass it back over. We have 4 cards left in hand. No, 5 cards left in hand. Staring down the rabbit. Another play we could have tried to cast the Bubloon attack and swing over the rabbit, but like I said, the same thing as the first turn, him having 3 back row. I didn't want to go for that. I'm thinking about it now. In the future, I might just try to be more aggressive, because to get our first one, we're going to have to be aggressive and just hope he doesn't have a counter, or whoever doesn't have a counter. That might be the first path to victory. So in the future, I might attempt to be more aggressive and just hope they don't have it. But he casts out the Galaxy. He'll set 1 more, go to battle phase. He'll attack the Galaxy over the Bubbloon to destroy it, and then swing the Rabbit for another 2. So we expend 2 Zaptors there for the Rabbit attack, and then draw for turn. We draw our beautiful, nice new Earthquake here, and we hit the best target for it. Take out the Rabbit. Feels so good to see the 1 of Earthquake. Best card in our deck by far. The pity pack already paying off in this clash. We go with a cast of the Ursicle here. Ursicle 1/3 Frost Elestral. It allows us to search for a bear Elestral or rune and add it to our hand. Only runes that exist up to this point are the Don't Poke the Bear and the the Ursidin, and obviously we don't have either of those. Don't Poke the Bear would actually be a pretty good hit for our deck if we could pull that from a Daybreak pack at some point in the near future. We have 3 of the bears at this point, so that would actually be a pretty solid card for us. He opts to go for the Poison Tipped Arrow on the Ursicle. Maybe not the greatest play here. He just wants to be able to get rid of it, which honestly at this point I cannot blame him for, because we don't have a whole lot of defense anyways. But we resolve the Ursicle effect. We add the Ur Scout to hand. Ur Scout is the one that, if it's destroyed by battle, it allows us to cast out another Bear Celestial from our hand or deck. So a little bit of synergies going on here. We add that to hand, knowing at the end of this turn the Ursicle is going to die. So I'll go to end phase here. He does pay out the PTA. Ursicle goes to the Underworld, and we pass play back to him. Staring down a Galaxy right now. Potential to add a little bit more to that. We still have the Chains of Prometheus set. He's going to throw out a Leviathan and cast out an Aepharos here. Galaxy being enchanted will swap the Aepharos to a 4/2, so pretty solid card to get out right there. Unfortunately, he doesn't have Poseidon or anything to Nexus off the Aepharos effect, but he will just go ahead and swing for 2. So we'll expend those 2 spirits, and looks like we'll go here, cast out a Rummagem here. Rummagem allowing us to search for a 1-cost Earth Elestral. We actually, off of the Shattered Stars, got our 3rd Rummagem, so we pulled 2 from the initial packs, and now we got the 3rd one from Shattered Stars. So we have our playset of Rummagem. Great card to have a playset of. Helps with consistency. And now we have a lot more good targets for the Rummagem as well. So honestly, getting the Earth Shattered Stars pack, Pity Pack, was probably best case scenario for us. Going through the options right here. I'm going back and forth at this point between Mudlet and Moss Station. I have to go for the Mudlet here. I figure if I get the Mudlet out and the attack goes through on the Galaxy, then the Aepharos will get swapped back and be small enough to where it won't be able to swing over the Mudlet. So that is my thought process here. Moss Station may have just been better to get it out and not attack, maybe sit on it until I get an Ascension, but I figured having the Chains of Prometheus set, the Mudlet was probably the better option at this point. So I believe I passed back over to Ego here. Looks like he sets 1 back row, so he's got a full board back there. He swings the Galaxy over the Rummagem, and then swings the Aepharos for 1. So we expend the Leviathan for that attack. And it is our go here. So at this point, we are losing control pretty quickly. I know I need to make a move here. I do make sure I have the Teratlis and go ahead and throw out the Leviathan. Gotta try to do something here. 4 back rows, not ideal, but the effect does go through. We're able to swap the Galaxy to defense here. And I do go for the attack. He does have the shield, and I just go ahead and flip the Chains of Prometheus here. So I do pay the 2 Vipyros. He goes ahead and pays the 1 for the shield anyways. The effect gets negated, so he doesn't pay the cost. I'm not too sure if that's how that effect works out, but that's how we decided to resolve it. And then at this point, I'm just telling him about the second effect of Chains, where it allows him to heal a spirit. Yeah, so he goes through the underworld and adds back a spirit off of the chain. So he throws back a Leviathan right there. And then at this point, the battle is still attempting to go through. I'm not exactly sure if he can respond to the chains of Prometheus. He does have the second shield, so even if it didn't need to be like a separate chain, he could have just chained it to my chains of Prometheus, and the same thing would have happened. So even if we didn't play it correctly, I believe the same outcome, or this would have been the same outcome. So something I might need to look into just to make sure I know the ruling, but same thing either way. He will bounce the Mudlet back to hand off of the second shield, leaving us with a wide open board and not too many spirits left here. So he'll switch the Galaxy back to attack here, and throws out another Leviathan and casts out a Foamy. Foamy's just an annoying card to deal with in this kind of deck, as well as us not having a whole lot of options anyways. So we go ahead and pay out 2 Leviathan and a Zaptor here for the attacks. We only have 1 spirit left. So it is looking like we are going to fall to 0-11 on the series here. Trying to think if there's anything else I have. I know I had the Sluggle in hand, so I can heal back a couple spirits. Maybe try to do some necklace shenanigans here, but him having 3, he's just way too far ahead for it to even make a difference. So we'll go ahead and try it here anyways. Cast the Sluggle in attack. Grab the 3 Leviathan off of the Sluggle effect. So we'll heal back those 3 spirits. And yeah, we'll instantly use 2 here. My thought here was that this would buff my Sluggle. However, there's still an Enchanted Galaxy on the board, so all of the potential attack that I would gain from the necklace goes straight to my defense, and I swing the 2 attack Sluggle into the 5 attacked Galaxy. We actually didn't even notice it at first. You see he flips Argo here, and then once we go through, we realize that that's not how it's supposed to work. So he didn't even need the Argo here. It's just the end of the game at this point. I think at this point is where we started to realize, like, oh hey, there is a Galaxy right there. So yep, falling to 0-3 on the episode, 0-11 on the series. We did get a big upgrade with the pity pack this episode, so hopefully we'll be able to get our first win here soon.